2 weeks ago, I got a request for a meeting at my job that I'd been working at for the last 8 years. The meeting request seemed to pulsate ominously on my calendar, and even though I'm prone to assume the worst, and usually it turns out fine, I had an immediate sense of foreboding, and as soon as I saw my manager's face, I knew. I don't remember exactly what was said because my heartbeat started reverberating in my skull. He passed me on to an HR employee I didn't know. It occurred to me I'd never met my manager in person, and now I probably never would. And that was more than okay with me. But how strange it's been working for this person who doesn't really know me these last 2 years of my career. I was told this would be my last week of work at the company. Ad sales declining, thank you for your years of work and creative pursuits. I'd get a small severance, a week to wrap up, a week to say goodbye. Part of me wanted to say no thanks to this week they implied was a gift, a special consideration out of respect for my time at the company. But to me, it felt like they were saying I had a week to plan my own funeral. My job, by all accounts, was cool. I got to travel to faraway places and got tons of free stuff, and it gave me some street cred in the outdoorsy town in Colorado where we used to live. I keep thinking about how when you meet someone, one of your first questions is, "What do you do?" I remember when this question caused me anxiety because the point, of course, is a kind of professional yardstick, a veiled and yet socially acceptable way to analyze someone's status. I often think if we met, what if we asked, what do you love? What sets your soul on fire? What makes you cry? This is what I want to know about somebody, but I've never had the nerve to do it myself. I've known for a while that what sets my soul on fire had evolved into something completely separate, and I've performed the mental gymnastics necessary to talk myself back into my job dozens of times. It sounded like this. I'm lucky to have a stable career. I'm lucky to have insurance. I should be satisfied to make a living, and who cares if it's my passion? I have to be responsible. I want to be the kind of person who can dutifully punch a clock. But for years, I could feel myself languishing, daydreaming, wondering over and over, isn't it all supposed to be more beautiful than this? I could feel myself disengaging from my work, and I started to build something new. In a way, I know I've been laying the foundation for this change for a long time. I hope that by moving to Florida, I could manifest something new here, or at the very least, dull the ache, questions, and nagging sensation that I'm not where I'm supposed to be. But all those things simply followed me here. I'm proud of myself and my family for leaping into the unknown in search of whatever was calling us, but I still feel lost. I've made friends here in Florida almost exclusively through Instagram, friends who I call on the phone and have traveled with. I've had a part-time job with a creator I admire deeply, who treats me fairly and with whom I've shared 1,000 laughs. I've created the beginning of something, and I give myself due credit for continuing to do things terrified. And yet, I haven't done half of what I hoped. It feels like the next step is just out of reach, and I don't know what to do now. And I'm afraid that I won't be able to make myself do it. We have very real financial obligations, a mortgage, student loans, expenses that seem to never end, and 2 children. We know we need to be careful these next few months. I can see the stress in my husband's eyes. He wheels it from room to room in our home, like a suitcase he can't leave unattended. When I was young, my parents struggled with money. My pants were always too short. I got free lunch, and we screened all of our calls for the bill collectors. I promised myself for me and my family it would be different. And now here I am, middle-aged and unemployed. We live between Universal and Disney, and I go there often. Sometimes for work I get paid for, sometimes for work I assign myself that I don't get paid for. And I can't tell if it's a lifetime of fairy tales that's making me believe that really, I got exactly what I wanted. What if this is my chance? What if this is my chance? I have 2 months to create something new, 8 weeks to dream a huge, terrifying, life-altering dream, and then create a plan on how to achieve it. The problem is, I have no idea what that dream is yet.